but I also have to remember that, like you said, this is the first time you've ever heard of this. So this is also the beginning of a journey for me too. So I'm very excited to kind of close one chapter and start the next one with this advocacy and teaching and educating people about the dangers of these companies.
Hi, Roberta.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
And oh my God, I never heard about LULARICH before. So I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. This series is amazing. And it's an eye-opener for everybody that try to get into those multi-level pyramid scams, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. How was it for you, like this whole experience, you know what I mean? And why LULARICH resonate with you in the beginning back then?
You know, in the very beginning, back in 2015, when I heard about LULARICH, I was a new mom. I had a young daughter at home. My father had recently passed away. I was a new bride as well. And there was a lot of big life changes that happened to me in a very short amount of time. And I was very vulnerable. I was feeling a lot of guilt of not being a stay-at-home mom because we needed the money. We live in San Diego, it's very expensive, and so I had to work. I was feeling a lot of guilt of not being enough of a wife, not being enough of a mom, and society puts those pressures on you, and I was feeling them really a lot. So when LULARICH came knocking, they had a lot of promises, like, we're going to bring this amazing opportunity for you to make money, check. A wonderful community of women to help you along, check. Friends, check. All of the things that I felt that I was lacking in my life. I probably wasn't actually lacking those things, but at whatever point I was in, I felt at that moment that I was, and it seemed like multi-level marketing, pyramid schemes, LULARICH was the answer. And so I joined, and for a good time, I was making good money. I was able to quit my job and do LULARICH full time. But the higher I got up in the pyramid, the more I saw, this really scandalous, nefarious scam that was happening underneath the surface. And there's all these little things that started to connect, and I started to see it from more of an outside perspective versus somebody that was inside. And I realized that something was wrong, and I needed to tell somebody about it.
Yeah. It's like, I was amazed with everything, like all the women that like selling breast milk, getting debt, all this crazy just to show that you can do it. You know what I mean? And I don't think you need to do all this stuff and to be part of this to show that you're a good mom or a good wife or a good person, right? So right. I don't know. And what, but like, there is something like, how much did you learn like with this experience that you're gonna pass on to your kids?
Well, I will tell you that my daughter is probably the most anti-MLM child you will ever meet in your life. She's like, that's a scam. She knows, she sees them, she calls them out. I'm teaching her well. She'll come home from school and she's like, Mom, there's this girl at school who's trying to get me to buy this stuff her mom sells. I mean, it's insane. I'm like, stop telling your children like to sell your crap at school. Stop. I know it's happening because my daughter's coming home telling me it's happening. So it's just kind of strange, but she's my whole life. I never expected any of the decision that I made 6 years ago to lead me here, to be sitting on a Zoom, doing a press junket for a movie that's like, tells the story of what happened, and I'm not the only person that exposed this. There's a huge group of women that we worked countless hours, night and day, exposing this, finding all of the scams, connecting all of the dots, digging, paying all kinds of money to get court records and to find all of this information, and they're just as amazing. And some of them are in the film and some of them aren't, but it's just, I never expected any of this to happen. I never expected anybody to even listen to me, let alone call me up and say, hey, we've been watching you and we want to do a docuseries on this story. And so for me, like, am I sad that I joined a pyramid scheme and like I, screwed up and I destroyed a couple years of my life? Yes, of course. It was a horrible decision and I don't recommend anybody do it, but it did lead me here. And so I try to find the silver lining. Yes, I got taken. Yes, I got. Yes, I got scammed. But now I have a platform where I'm able to share this story and help other women not get scammed and not go down that same road that I went down, and teach people what to look for and how to protect themselves when these opportunities come knocking, because the American dream sounds amazing, but it's not as easily achieved as they would like you to believe.
Yeah. You need to work hard, and then you can get all your everything for your American dream. And I think it was amazed me, like on the documentary, that they still believe in that. Like that was the end mark, their belief. And that's something that blew my mind. I was like, oh my God, they still wanna do that. And I know that still people like over there. And I just, thank you so much for that, to have the courage to go on camera, to go on record and tell everybody else this is a scam and be careful. There's a lot more around you.
Yeah, right? It's really felt like a calling almost. You hear a lot of these women that say they joined because they felt like it was a calling, that this is what I'm being called to do. And I never felt that way joining MLM. It just was like, this seems like an easy way to make money. But being an anti-MLM advocate and being on this side and educating people about these dangers, this really does truly feel like a calling for me. And it's been a fantastic and amazing journey. And I'm so excited. This sometimes to me, this feels like the end of the journey, because now finally people are listening. But I also have to remember that, like you said, this is the first time you've ever heard of this. So this is also the beginning of a journey for me too. So I'm very excited to kind of close one chapter and start the next one with this advocacy and teaching and educating people about the dangers of these companies.
Amazing. Roberta, I just want to thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to meet you, to talk to you and keep going, because maybe it was your mission, just to teach us not to get into the scam.
Yeah, gotta find that silver lining, right?
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.